Hey guys, this is Nuri Castillo Crawford, author of 3,585 Miles to Be an American Girl. If you have not checked out my book, it is on Amazon, at Barnes& and Nobles, and at 1010 Publishing website. Um, Thanks for joining me. I hope that we are connected on social media. You can find 1010 Publishing on Facebook, and you can find me on all social media platforms under Nuri Castillo Crawford. You can also find 1010 Publishing on Instagram. So definitely try to connect with me. I'd love to chat, etc. It's been a crazy last few weeks for me. Most of you know that I am an educator, and I live here in the metro area of Atlanta, Georgia. So school's wrapping up, and so we've been super busy, and I've been super excited and just overwhelmed with all of the things that we have to do at the end of the year. All good things, of course, but still lots to do, and still remaining with a positive attitude, because part of leadership is just that. So hopefully you and I can connect. Hit me up at 470-440-0018 if you have any questions, or you want to just touch base after this video blog. Also, you can hit me up at 1010publishingus at gmail.com. That's 1010 publishingus@gmail.com. So I usually start our conversations with some kind of tidbit about immigration, etc. Then we'll talk a little bit about writing, and I'm hoping that you've tried to set aside some time for your writing this week. And then I share something that maybe I'm working on as well. So let us get started. First of all, shout out to Dr. Jose Medina, who is the director of Global Language and Cultural Education. He posted a quick video on Twitter, on social media, on Twitter, about iConfess. So I thought it's pretty awesome. I want to confess too. I confess that I do speak Spanish. And for some of my friends that are monolingual, I also speak Spanglish. Because I just do. I think that most people that know me, I've said at least one word to them in Spanish. Shout out to one of my friends at the school that I always call me Familia. And she's monolingual, and she calls me that back. And so shout out to her. And I don't know. It's just what I do. It's part of me. I can't really shut it off. I mean, I know when I'm speaking to someone who is monolingual and only speaks English, so I do communicate effectively in English, of course. So I speak English to them, but speaking Spanish is part of who I am. It's in my DNA. I'm originally from Peru, South America. Soy Latina, 100%. So I can't kind of help it, right? So one of the things that I tell every child that I meet who is bilingual is that it is kind of like your superpower, right? Some superheroes wear capes, and some superheroes have strength, and some superheroes are just bilingual or trilingual, and they know more than one language. Knowing more than one language helps you connect with more people, because it kind of makes sense. It's more languages, so you get more people that you're actually being able to connect with. So shout out to all of you who have your language superpower, and you know more than one language. And if you don't, I totally encourage you to learn. It's so much easier now because you can find a lot of stuff online, free classes, etc. So I wanted to say that I do confess, soy latina, soy bilingüe, hablo español, amo a toda mi familia y mis amigos que son bilingües, y también los que no son. I just really do love just everybody. All right, so I think that the whole thing was inspired, the hashtag iConfess was inspired by the 1982 Supreme Court Plyler versus the Department of Education, where a landmark decision just came down that basically said that states cannot constitutionally deny students a free public education due to their immigration status. What does all of that mean in layman's terms? Kind of means that schools cannot police that. You know, we're in the business of teaching and learning. We're not in the business of seeing people's immigration status. So, kind of makes sense to me. So, I think that the whole iConfess movement was inspired by that misunderstanding, maybe by some individuals. So, just wanted to clarify that. Anybody can Google it. It was landed and handed down in 1982 by the Supreme Court. So it's a federal thing, not a school thing. So just wanted to share that. So writing. One of the things that as I've embarked into the publishing world has been that people have sent me a manuscript or a sample manuscript. And not most people, trust me, but there's been a couple of people who I feel like have great storylines and are like dreaming of having a published product in their hands, which I totally can relate to. But when I receive it, and I feel like it's the same answer that any publishing company, whether it's traditional or hybrid, would share, is that it lacks the foundation that it needs to reflect. What does that really mean? It means like, you remember all those classes that you took in high school, maybe even college, and maybe even elementary and middle school, where you learn how to pre-write and write your formatted story with a apex that's, the high point or the climax of your story. You have to have a storyline to go with it, and an introduction to hook the reader, and a conclusion to kind of sum it up. Well, some people skip those classes or have forgotten, which totally is understandable, especially if you're not in education, that you might have forgotten some of that stuff. So I encourage you to take a class at a community college in writing. Or if you don't want to take a class because they can be kind of expensive, find some support groups. Oh my gosh, with social media nowadays, I mean, you can find all kinds of support groups to help you write. Or, last but not least, visit your public library. Libraries have tons of free books that you can check out that can help you kind of pull back all of those skills that you learned in while you were getting your public education or your education period. And getting all those writing standards down. So definitely reach out and use some of those resources that are available to you in your community, and try to get your, like a refresher course on writing skills. That's my tip on writing today. So don't let anything hold you back. This is just a little hurdle that you might have. And so continue to just push forward. All right. So what is happening with me in writing? I think I shared with you the last time that my second book was the draft number 1 was done. So currently it is wrapping up its content review stage. And that means I have a few people that read the book, minimum 3 people, read the book, provide feedback, etc. Once that is done, we will have a technical review done. And usually, like in traditional publishing companies, both of those things could be done by the editor, right? I have a hybrid publishing company, so I use different resources, either through contractual or through expert advice of people I know. So after that, it'll go to technical review. My deadline in my head, and in paper actually, was the end of May to have both of those done. So I'm almost done with that, and I'm online with. I think I'm on track with that. And after a week or so, I will be looking into getting the book cover done. It is a book This is kind of like a self-help book. It's a parental guide into parenting on the 21st century. So many times we take things for granted about parenting skills, etc. But in reality, a lot of our fellow parents need help, and they need some advice on how to manage and navigate parenting in this busy, busy world that we live in. So it is a book that I feel will have an audience by itself of parents that need some support and can do book studies and book clubs with those, and maybe schools can hold parent sessions under parent involvement. So I look forward to engaging some parents and caretakers and helping them navigate through the 21st century of this thing we call parenthood. So I'm excited about the book, and I'm excited to be able to share it with you guys. So look for it. I will give you, as time gets closer to its publishing date, I will definitely be in touch. We have to celebrate because that's what I like to do. So if you hear some noise in the background, my sister family are here. My youngest graduates from college, high school. I'm trying to put my baby in college. High school tomorrow night. So shout out to Appalachian High School. And I'm super excited and kind of, I'm not sad. I'm just like, that's my baby. So I'm holding it together. But I'm super proud of him. He's just an excellent person inside and out. And I know he's destined for great things. So anyway, I want you guys to have a great evening. Hit me up, like I said, on 1010publishingus@gmail.com, or call me at 470-440-0018 with any of your questions, concerns, or feedback. And connect with me on social media, Nuri Castillo Crawford. And like I said, if you've not picked up my book, check it out. 3,585 Miles to Be an American Girl. All of the illustrations are by Demetrius Motion Bullock. So always, always, always shout out to Demetrius. That's my friend, and he has some great things going on himself. So definitely Google him, and you can also check him out. If you type his name in on Amazon, you will be able to see some of his published work as well, and lots of his artwork. He is definitely an amazing artist. So shout out to him too. Have an amazing rest of your week and weekend. And I'm out of here. I have to go and enjoy my family. And so I will see you later. Bye, guys.